put a condom on. We won't do that. We don't want to talk about that because the thought of our babies having sex, our babies don't have sex. And as a result, our babies are having babies. And we're sitting up here wondering, how did our baby get pregnant? I can guess. Okay, all right. So we don't talk. Lord, and let me go ahead and say this right now. Don't let somebody in our family be gay. Oh my. If we talk about it, we're going to talk bad. And then the next thing we know, that person, that individual, whomever that individual is growing up not just being ostracized and stigmatized by society, they're being ostracized by their own family. So they grow up wondering, who am I? What kind of person am I? I'm not real. I'm not a person of worth. Then they really start engaging in risky behaviors because no, it doesn't matter. Who am I? Nobody. And all we want to do is point the finger or shake our head or suck our teeth. And the reality is, when something happens, the person we need to blame is the person we look at in the mirror. We are responsible for our children. We are.
I'll let you know this, and I thought about this week, and so I grew up on 37th and College. College is 1 block west of Indiana. When I was growing up, if you drove up and down Indiana Avenue, before it was crack cocaine, it was alcohol. If you start on 23rd in Indiana and come down Indiana, you'll see a liquor store almost every 3 blocks. There was a liquor store on 23rd in Indiana, liquor store on 27th in Indiana, liquor store on 31st in Indiana, liquor store on 35th in Indiana, liquor store on 36th in Indiana, liquor store on 39th in Indiana, liquor store on 43rd in Indiana, and that's just 1 block. Because alcohol has been just as damaging as crack cocaine, but because it's legal, it doesn't get the bad rap that drugs do. But alcohol, if it was discovered tomorrow, it'd be an illegal drug that nobody could sell on the market. But because people figured out how to make a whole lot of money on alcohol, we have what we have.
Opinion writer for the Kansas City Star. Your opinion as to how you see the black family is what we'd like to hear from you as briefly as possible.
Brevity is a gift, and I plan to share tonight. I have to go back to what my mother used to say to my sister and to anyone else who was black, that I think resonates throughout all of us and all of our community. Our chief problem is that we do not unconditionally love ourselves.
Yes.
Yep.
And without that self-love, we are lost. We do not unconditionally give ourselves to our faith. Without that faith, we are lost. Another thing that really stands out, and it's what I get from visiting men in prison, and that is that in prison, what the men suddenly have to confront, which has never happened to them before, is silence. And they have to find a comfort in the silence without all of the distractions of TV and hip-hop and everything else. They have to suddenly, as never before, think. And we are not loving ourselves, and we are not thinking for ourselves. We're letting other people do it for us. When I go into the classrooms, whether it's in the Kansas City School District or any school district or any college throughout the country, what I tell the kids is this. You've heard that you are what you eat? Isn't that right?
Amen. Yes.
I tell them that they need to think differently. and that is that you are what you read. And if you are reading junk, trust me, your life will be junk. If you're not reading at all, you're starving. If you are reading textbooks and material that will enhance and inform and grow your life with the mental muscle that you need to struggle through this world, this white world.
Thank you.
Unless you are doing that, you are a weakling and you are susceptible to all of the things that really have taken Black America apart.
So they are a gatekeeper for moral integrity, for faith and respect for God. And the trick has been to taking the mention of God out of the schools, out of the life of the people, so they can access them and exploit them, and sell them all the filth, all the things that people are buying that they don't need in their life. They're trying to entertain themselves. And the sister that spoke about the education system, it's not an educational system, it's an indoctrination program. The kids, how come our children at home love to learn at the foot of their mother? Ask all kind of questions, have a love for education, but as soon as they get into the public education, they lose a love for learning. Then also, all of a sudden, they can't learn. But the little baby at the foot of the mother, they don't run out of questions.